Agriculture is actually the U.S.'s largest export, and companies like ADM have really benefited from exporting soybeans to China before the trade sanctions hit. Now they're going to benefit from storing a record U.S. harvest. And if we do get a trade agreement with China, they would benefit from, again, shipping soybeans to China and potentially ethanol.
Okay, can I throw out one complicating issue?
Sure.
The dollar. We were talking about strong dollar with Larry Kudlow yesterday.
Yes.
How much of that's going to be an overhang for this whole issue relative to the trade war issue?
You know, you're seeing the strong dollar really impact protein prices, where the prices that we are shipping are pork, chicken, and beef out of the U.S. is being depressed by the strong U.S. dollar, and that is hurting the profitability of our protein companies.
Okay, so first of all, on ADM, what do you think it's worth?
We think the stock can trade to $57, so there's 15% upside in that name.
Okay, who else do you like?
We like the Andersons,
right,
which is a local grain company in the Eastern Corn Belt. They're going to benefit not only from rail and grain.
Anybody else? I know you got a whole list.
We do. We like Bunge, which is another grain company.
What's Bunge?
Bunge is...
You know about Bunge?
Yeah. Seed company, right?
Bunge is a agricultural company that has a global footprint, and again, is a grain handler and is benefiting from crushing soybeans into meal.
But this is all soybean story? Is there anybody outside of the soybean world?
So you have soybeans and corn and wheat. And the Andersons are benefiting from wheat because the U.S. has a great supply of wheat, and you're seeing wheat burn up in the EU and in Australia.
What about the idea? I mean, I can appreciate that there are some companies that can store some of these crops. Other crops you can't store. What happens in those situations? I think about apples from Washington or other places. If those fruits aren't harvested now, there's not necessarily an opportunity to wait until this all blows over.
So some of the fruit companies are facing challenges, but then there's also opportunities. Becky, I noticed you were putting lemon in your water.
Yeah.
We cover a company called Limonera. Stock's up about 30% in the last 3 months because they have had a very good harvest, whereas in California, you've had tight supplies. They've also faced some tariffs, but they've been able to pass them along because demand for lemons has been very strong.
Where do you stand on Tyson?
So we're a buy on Tyson. We think Tyson is cheap here. Clearly, the stock's down. They've missed earnings because of these trade issues, but we think there's 20% upside from current levels if you can get some of these trade deals done. Now, we're looking forward to potentially having a deal with Mexico on NAFTA. Mexico is our largest customer for protein. And down the road, we could potentially get a free trade agreement with Japan.
Let me throw out one more.
China.
That there's maybe not a trade war story, but maybe it is. But I think it's a activist story or a takeover story, which is Campbell Soup. What do you do?
No, we don't cover Campbell.
You don't.
We don't.
Okay.
We cover more of the agribusiness companies.
Okay. We'll take
Bunge,
that.
we used to do.
I'm not.
Bunge Jones. We used to have VO. I mean, we've been doing Bunge for. Once again, back to 25, yeah, Bunge, yeah, but well known. Yes, soybean. Right?
So, and soybeans and soy crushing is a tremendous opportunity. Right now, we have record crush margins because, again, soybean prices in the U.S. are very low.
Thank you for coming on. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. I'm sorry I'm not.
That's okay. Stevens is.
Educated on Bunge.
Do you have offices in Arkansas anymore? Or
We do.
You do.
We're still headquartered in Arkansas.
Still headquartered in Arkansas, but a big presence back here as well.
Exactly.
Do you ever see Warren? Does he come in occasionally?
He's a wonderful guy.
He is.
Very, very involved in the business.
He's a dashing figure, isn't he? When he comes through, does he? I see him around. He's a golfer.
He is a golfer.
Very good golfer. Yes.
Very good golfer.
Yes.
And passionate golfer, as I would say.
All right, we'll leave it at